Willkommen zurück zu Vampyr. Part 4. Gut, Ladies, dann wollen wir mal, wa? So mit Öl. Pressung in Whitechapel. Let's go. Erstmal in meinem Stream rein für den Live-Chat. Da ist keiner. Wie soll keiner sein? So. Hat sich sogar in diesem Bereich abgespeichert.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions.
Please be my guest. Although I may not be the best informant regarding this part of town, my words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you an artist of some kind?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nethercott, at your service.
Das ist doch dieser Richard.
Are you aware that your life could be in danger in this part of town?
But this is where I must be to feel the real beat of the city. I had to come, see it for myself, alone.
Da ist keiner. Ja, mein Schöner, die kommen ja auch erst noch.
I understand your need for solitude, but it's not safe around here.
I don't care.
Aber zum Beispiel, du bist schon drin und schreibst. Und deswegen muss ich im Chat rein, dass ich dir antworten kann.
If some misfortune came upon you, who would be here to help you?
Well, you for a start, my dear doctor.
May I ask what you're doing at this hour of night, sir? Do you live here?
Not at all. I'm just enjoying the pleasure of a quiet walk. Though night talks are always preferable, if you ask me. Especially with strangers.
But are you not afraid of the epidemic?
Oh, why should I? I see some equity in the Spanish flu. No flesh should be saved, say the scriptures. Good or evil, rich or poor, all are equal in the eyes of the flu.
If you say so. But as a physician in a time of epidemic, I must caution you to avoid unnecessary exposure, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. But we both know the seeker of truth has to go boldly where the weak dare not.
What are your thoughts on the terrible situation in this city?
Terrible, you say? No. Of course, the death of so many innocents is a tragedy. But the scourge has not been all bad for the city. Oh, no, sir.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember London before the flu? Noisy, cacophonic, quiet nowhere to be found. And now, listen to this oddly peaceful silence.
Yes. The enjoyable silence of the grave. You have a unique perspective on the situation, I must admit.
Most people fail to understand my perspective. I don't blame them. But how could I call myself a poet if I veiled my feelings?
Tell me, Mr. Nethercott, why seek inspiration in Whitechapel?
The place is not beautiful per se, but how to explain it? Stirring and challenging.
Do you not think it a little morbid?
On the contrary, sir. Whitechapel is full of life, full of beauty. Just like my dear muse, the wonderful Camellia.
What can you tell me about Camellia?
Not much, and that's the beauty of it. She can't speak, you know. She's a locked mystery, who exhales kindness and sweetness.
Ah, jetzt kriegen wir ein paar Hinweise über sie.
Perhaps you're just afraid to find out the truth about your muse.
One day, perhaps, I'll ask her to come with me. But will she still be my wild flower of Whitechapel if she moves uptown?
And have you ever tried to learn more about her? Where she lives? How she survives? Whom she may know?
Maybe I prefer she remains an enigma. Reality can be so dull, don't you think?
In what way, exactly?
The struggle by gaslight, the barren smiles, and the added hunger under the rain.
If you say so.
Such vibrant antagonism and vivid paradox. The stripped humanity raged across each street.
Vivid, of course, yes. And what about the poignant distress?
Oh yes, the poignant distress. You see what I mean, don't you? That's what I want to write about, and that's what Whitechapel is made of.
Did you know the mute florist is a member of a secret society?
No, I didn't. But I thank you for this information, sir. For it only enriches the mystery surrounding the precious camellia.
Are you not curious? Is there not more you wish to know?
That girl has not an ounce of malice in her. Whatever she may be hiding, it's certain to be for the benefit of most, if not all.
I fear you are a hopeless romantic, Mr. Nethercourt.
Guilty as charged, Dr. Reed.
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse who lives in this vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious. But, sorry, no, never heard of her.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu? Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
I'll leave you alone, sir.
Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in.
You are blinded by your false faith, imprisoned by your daily...
Good evening, Doctor. Can I help you?
Christina Popper claims she sells her body because she can't find any other work. Do you believe her?
Of course I do. Her story is exactly what I want my readers to understand. We live in an intolerant and divided nation.
Do you think things will ever change, Mr. Darby?
I believe the situation can only improve. And now that women can vote, I'm convinced things will change.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell. Hello again, miss. Tell me about Richard Nethercott. I understand he is quite fond of you, Camellia.
Also hier kriegt man auch nichts raus.
I know you understand what I'm saying. Your silence has nothing to do with you being mute, does it? Very well. Goodbye, then.
You are blinded by your money.
Come on, Barrett, you know the game. You pay for peace of mind.
Mr. Petrescu, just 1 minute, please.
You again? Go away.
Sir, wait. Stop this nonsense. I know Nurse Crane is here. Shall we speak man to man, you and I?
All right. Speak up.
Don't you see we're on the same side? We fight to help the poor, sick, and abandoned.
I'm nothing like you, Mr. Doctor.
Yes, you are. You too believe in providing medical care without charge. You know what we have to sacrifice to make the world a better place.
I have to admit your words have conviction. All right, I'll let you see Dorothea. Don't make me regret this, though.
Sind wir schon mal drin.
It's locked.
If you want to talk to Dorothea, you must go across the courtyard and take the stairs.
We've not been formally introduced. May I ask your name and occupation, sir?
I am Darius Petrescu. I'm here to keep snitches and spies away from Dorothea. And I also run this little print shop.
Von ich weiß.
So Dorothy's real name is not Crane.
Like myself and many people in this area, Dorothea is from occupied Romania. That's all you need to know.
She seems important to the community.
More than you can imagine. The West End does not want to hear of Whitechapel's misery. Dorothea is one of the few doing something about it.
Tell me everything you know about Camellia, the mute florist.
I do not believe in the afterlife, Doctor, but I'm almost convinced Camellia is an angel. She volunteered to give out our medical leaflets.
Are you not worried for her safety?
She is as brave as she is tough, and clever, too. If only I had met her when I was younger.
Are you in love with Camellia, Mr. Petrescu?
Don't be stupid. If I had met her when I was younger, we could have won our revolution.
Who is she, really? Do you know where she's from?
She's not from around here, that's all we know. Camellia is not even her name. It's her favorite flower.
You say she has no close family?
Well, there's that awful poet who constantly follows her around like a lost puppy. A good man for sure, but a very poor writer.
Tell me everything you know about Camellia, the mute florist.
I do not believe in the afterlife, Doctor, but I'm almost convinced Camellia is an angel. She volunteered to give out our medical leaflets.
Stanzwerk. Oh. Viel Spaß, Alter. Ist am Arsch der Welt, das Ding, ey.
Do you have any family left, Mr. Petrescu? Children or grandchildren?
Who knows? I have abandoned my people for so long, they might as well be dead. As dead as I am for them, I suppose.
Don't be embarrassed, sir. If you must know, my own father disappeared many years ago, and I forgave him.
It's quite awkward to talk about our families like this, but thank you, Dr. Reed.
Ich find's weiter als Paradiesfrucht. Aber das ist ja da hinten bei PVGS.
This war won't last forever. Did you ever think of returning to your country now it's free?
No. I have taught strength and determination to my sons and daughters. I'm an old, dying man who only has memories of better times to cherish.
I know you fought for your country when it was occupied, Darius. Tell me more about it.
I know my days are numbered, and I know I won't see my homeland again. But I fought for Romania all my life, and I will until my last breath.
But Romania escaped the grasp of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. It's a free country again.
But it's not the country I fought for. My homeland is not appeased, Doctor. And I still see a dark future ahead for my people.
How did you meet Nurse Crane, Darius? Why does she trust you?
I'm her oldest friend in England. Dorothea and I share many ideas about this country and about the country we left.
You mean occupied Romania, don't you? Even if not directly, I fought against your enemies.
Really? Then perhaps you have more in common with Dorothea than meets the eye, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye, Mr. Petrescu.
Ja, ist so. Hat ja ein alter Kumpel von mir auch mal gearbeitet im Stanzwerk. Whitechapel. In der Apotheke, ja, die ist ja da hinten. Ah, hier kann ich zum Beispiel auch lang. Ich glaube mal, das war die andere Seite davon, ne? Weil ich gucke nämlich immer ganz gerne überall einmal durch. Aber das ist ja hier vorne. Sonst noch irgendwas Interessantes hier? Da oben ist sie. Dorothy Crane. Kann ich mit denen reden? Nee. Das schon mal nicht. Die Geräusche hören sich auf jeden Fall gefährlich an hier.
I'm thirsty. Give me a drink.
Razvan, can you hear my voice?
Ah, da war noch ein bisschen Geld. Da war auch noch ein bisschen Geld. Ja, deswegen immer durchgucken. Film's ihm. Wie hast du das geschafft? Was meinst du? Hier liegt noch was. Für mich. Das ist die Schwester. Also die Schwester von der Dorothy Crane. Okay. Diese Musik gefällt mir hier ganz und gar nicht. Was ich meine hier alles findet, ey, das ist geil.
He's going into convulsions, Doctor.
What do we have here, nurse?
Patient Razvan Vasily. High fever running on 3 days. Complaints of dizziness, muscle aches, and head pain. Diagnosed with influenza.
Treatment?
Aspirin and salicin for the fever and discomfort. Liquids for dehydration, but he's having trouble keeping even water down.
Wo sind die Chiniensalzer? Machen wir das.
Thank you, nurse. Anything else I should know?
He did lose consciousness this morning, but he's never had convulsions like these.
He's not convulsing, he's choking. He's not getting any air. Scalpel! Hand me that scalpel!
Da, wo du jetzt bist, dann guck zu.
What can I do, Doctor?
Ich muss einen Luftröhrenschnitt durchführen. Haben wir irgendwelche Betäubungsmittel? Dafür ist nicht genug Zeit. Wir machen direkt weiter.
I need to perform a tracheostomy. Short pipe. That rubber tube will do. We're going to cut a passage for air through the neck.
Yes, Doctor. He's breathing again, but he's coughing up blood.
Internal hemorrhaging. I need to make another incision into the chest cavity to drain the fluids from the lung. Prepare another tube.
A thoracostomy. Doctor, we've nothing to fight the infection. We need an aseptic environment.
Es wird schwierig. Also sie denkt von sicheren Arbeitsumfeld und er sagt, wir ziehen es durch. Neu empfangen, okay. Bei mir hat das Spiel auch schon einmal geleckt. Was schlagen Sie vor? Keine Diskussion. Wir ziehen durch, Leute, wir ziehen durch.
Don't question me, nurse. I need a drain. Now.
Yes, Doctor.
Wir ziehen durch.
He's still bleeding, Doctor. I'm losing his pulse.
The drain must have punctured the intercostal artery. There's too much blood.
Are you all right, Doctor?
I can't see.
Oh mein Gott. Lassen Sie mich das alleine beenden. Das auf jeden Fall nicht. Ich muss ja Tiere verlieren. Ich habe das Gefühl, dass er jetzt sich offenbaren tut. Ich glaube, wir machen es weiter.
I must first suture the artery. Find the wound. The source of the blood.
Needle and thread, Doctor.
Good. The stitches are holding. How's he doing?
We're losing him. We've lost his pulse. He's dying, Doctor.
Die Frage ist, was? Herzdruckmassage jetzt? Epiferin jetzt? Ich mache Epiferin.
A dose of epinephrine, now.
Yes, Doctor.
Er ist tot.
We've lost the pulse. He's gone, Doctor.
Nurse, we did everything we could.
Yes, I know. You are true to your reputation, Dr. Reed. Dedicated and precise. No one could have done more.
This was not an influenza-induced seizure. I've never seen symptoms like these on the continent.
Neither have I. But the previous symptoms leading up to this attack were the same, indistinguishable from the epidemic.
No. There was something more vile in these reactions. Something primitive.
There have been numerous reports of mental breakdowns caused by the fever that accompanies the flu itself, Doctor.
Yes, but... I'd best take some samples of the blood for analysis.
I doubt you're here to test my bedside manners.
Okay, wir sind weitergekommen.
So what do I owe this?
Es hat dazugehört.
It's locked.
It's locked.
This is an unfitting place for the... I suspect it was more than intuition alone that led you to us. So, how might I be of service, Dr. Reed?
Sie können so nicht weitermachen. Ich bin hier, um die Erpressung zu beenden. Das ist illegal. Das unten schon mal nicht. Sie können so nicht weitermachen. Ich bin hier, um die Erpressung zu beenden. Ich werde das machen.
I've come to put an end to this insufferable blackmailing, Dorothy.
Doctor, you think your warnings scare me? I've stolen and plied, blackmailed and lied, but what else am I to do? I'm all these people have.
But why Lady Ashbury? Why her, of all people?
She's pristine and proper, all right. But that she-wolf in sheep's clothing murders the poor for sport. I have her where she belongs, and I'll milk her for all she's got.
Dr. Swansea is a sensible and honest man. He wouldn't have refused your friend's care at Pembroke.
It's easy for you to say, Doctor. These people cannot go to the police,
Bei mir
nor
sind
to
die
the hospital.
Toren alle
They don't
zu.
even speak English. They depend on me for everything.
Was hast denn du? Du musst auf deine Missionen achten, also die oben rechts sind. Du musst das erst beenden. Ah, das ist schwierig. Ich kann dir nicht weiterhelfen, um zu sehen, was du machen musst. Also, du musst auf jeden Fall hier oben, was hier oben rechts für Missionen stehen, die musst du immer fertig haben, um weiterzukommen. Dann gibt es hier oben so eine Taktleiste. Da siehst du immer, wo du hinlaufen musst. Darum musst du dich halten. Und, wenn du auf der Karte bist, ganz wichtig, daran halten sich nicht die meisten. So jetzt hier zum Beispiel, du hast die Hauptquest, die wird dir angezeigt. Sagen wir mal, also die andere Quest, die war hier hinten, sondern dass ich weiterkam, wo ich jetzt bin. Die ist hier gewesen. Ich war ungefähr hier. Du musst auch mit jedem, bei jedem, mit dem Menschen da reden. Also das ist ein Spiel, womit du sehr viel reden musst, um weiterzukommen. Das ist langlebig, das Spiel. Dann stand ich hier hinten, hatte mit so einer Frau gesprochen, die nicht reden tut. Alles durch, alles fertig. Dann kam die Mission hier hinten. Sollte ich die Leute, 3 Leute sollte ich finden und mit denen reden. Der letzte war hier hinten auf den Hof. Da musst du hier durch. Na, das nervt jetzt. Hier sind auf jeden Fall 2 Tore oder ein Tor und dann kommt man da hin. Ich wollte erst hier lang, aber das war komplett falsch. Darum immer nach der, ganz wichtig, immer nach der Karte orientieren. Dann siehst du auch, kann man das anzoomen? Genau. Mit R1, L1, ich weiß ja nicht, auf welche Konsole du spielst oder PC, was auch immer. Dann siehst du ganz genau, wo du lang kannst, wo du lang musst. Das vergessen die meisten halt. Ja. Das ist mein Instagram. Da addest du mich mal, dann schickst du mir mal ein Bild davon, wo dein Problem ist.
So, the end justifies the means. Is that your defense?
I know you're kind, Doctor. Just another fine-heeled, silver-spooned gentleman who was given the world on a platter. You know nothing of poverty. Nothing of the shame, the hunger, the loneliness.
You've convinced me of the sincerity of your actions and their noble justifications. But all the same, blackmail is a crime, and it will stop, Nurse Crane.
So, are you going to turn me over to the authorities?
Oha. Ich habe es auf... Oh mein Gott, in den Bann ziehen. Sie werden die Angelegenheit vergessen. Aussaugen, ich beende es hier und jetzt. Verschonen, ich sehe weg, aber sie kündigen. Oh mein Gott, das sind harte Entscheidungen. Das sind harte Entscheidungen. Also ich hatte ja von Anfang an eigentlich gesagt, dass ich, sobald ich es kann, jeden einzelnen aussaugen werde. Weil ich will das volle Feeling in das Spiel. Weil umso mehr du aussaugst, umso bedenklicher wird die Gegend, sag ich mal. Handys sind kaputt, muss mir ein neues Handy kaufen. Ah! Dann bist du über dem Laptop oder so gerade bei meinem Livestream, oder? Sonst geht's ja nicht. Ah, das ist komisch. Ah, verschonen, verschonen, immer verschonen. Ihr müsst auch mal so ein bisschen Hardcore sein, wisst ihr? Ich sehe weg, aber sie kündigen. Das will ich ja auch nicht antun. Dann wird es ja, glaube ich, nur noch schlimmer. Sie werden die Angelegenheit vergessen. Also beenden werde ich es diesmal nicht. Ah, komm, Tom, ich höre mal auf dich.
No. Your place is here. Jailing you would be an even greater crime. So, here is my proposition.
Na, Medikamenten.
I'll look the other way on your little enterprise. In exchange, you will resign from the Pembroke Hospital and provide me with medical supplies when the need arises.
Dr. Reed! That sounds like a business proposition. My accomplice, then?
No, just a privileged client. My research may require the occasional rare piece of equipment or ingredient. I'll pay good coin in exchange, fair and honest, to help finance your noble endeavors.
We have ourselves a deal, Doctor.
Weißt du, wie man über der PlayStation Bilder schickt? Dass du mir dein Problem schildern kannst. Also man kann ja hier mit der Share-Taste Screenshots machen. Weißt du, wie man da Bilder schickt? Den könntest du mich über die PlayStation adden. Dann bin ich mal nicht so.
Good customers are always welcome.
Yes, Nurse Crane. We have a deal.
Bin ich in der Bandstufe aufgezogen? wir das dann mal, dann gucke ich mir das mal ganz kurz schnell an. Auf jeden Fall, Quatsch, scheine ich in der Bandstufe aufgestiegen zu sein. Ja, Bandstufe 2. Interessant, interessant, interessant. Nice. Okay, 1,5 EP, das ist aber nix.
It's locked, all right.
It's locked, all right.
This one stinks already.
Watch out, boys!
Okay. Ich brauche auf jeden Fall. Hat der nichts gedroppt? Nee, scheint nicht so. Das Spiel wird langsam interessant, Leute.
Watch yourselves! There's one of them! Take its head!
Ja, gibt's ihn, Alter, gibt's ihn so richtig. Rein den Schlond. Okay, der hat nichts gedroppt. Aber das Spiel, ich liebe es. Oha, ich habe gerade übelst viel EP dazu bekommen. Fast 1000. Bis später. Jawohl, bis später. Da siehst du ja auch da oben. Erpressung in Whitechapel, erstatte Lady Eyebrush Bericht. Also das muss man zum Beispiel machen. Und dann siehst du ja hier, da auf der Karte, das bin ich. Und hier ist jetzt meine Quest. Da muss ich jetzt hin. Aber ich denke mal, dass bei Fems das Problem ist, dass er nicht jeden angesprochen hat. Man muss auf jeden Fall, man muss nicht alles über jeden wissen, aber auf jeden Fall manche Sachen sind wichtig, um weiterzukommen.
Human blood. Whoever left these marks did so deliberately.
Oha! Aua, aua, das tut weh, das tut weh, das tut weh, das tut weh. Alter, wo kommen die denn jetzt alle her? Ich muss auf jeden Fall erstmal die Kleinen umbringen. Aua. Ich brauche Blut, um zu leben. Die waren hart, Alter. Abgenutzter Schlagstock. Wo ist denn das Ding? Ah, der ist zum Schocken. 18 Schocken, 15 Schocken, Ausdauer 40, Ausdauer 30. Angriffsgeschwindigkeit, okay. Der macht aber mehr Schockschaden. Also das ist so gesagt interessant. Den werde ich mir gleich mal aufwerten. Haben die irgendwas fallen lassen? Als ob die hier nichts fallen lassen haben. What? Gehe ich jetzt hier überhaupt richtig? Ah doch, das sollte hinhauen. Ja, doch, das haut hin. Jetzt müssen wir erstmal die Grafik wieder laden. So, erstmal wiederverwertet. So, kann ich dich aufwerten? Ja, klar kann ich das. Ja. Das war man verbraucht um 10% senken. Aber ich brauche halt Schock, weil Schock ist praktisch. Machen wir. Gut. Nachtladezeit ist mir eigentlich relativ egal. Das Ding soll ja Schaden machen. So. Da bin ich wieder. Muss dann mal schnell auf Toilette. Teil eines gewöhnlichen Griffes. Okay. Guck mal, ob ich dafür genug Geld habe. Wie viel brauchte ich da jetzt noch? Und 4. Wo ist er? Hier.
Good evening, Matt.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
Ihr habt bloß noch einen. Ja, 88 und 84, ich bekomme 16 dafür. Alles klärchen. Ich hasse schon Spiele, wo das so unfair, so mega unfair aufgeteilt ist. Man könnte es ja wenigstens für die Hälfte machen, ey. Aber hierfür würde ich zum Beispiel 72 kriegen, das finde ich wieder gut. Alter, hier habe ich 72. Da würde ich 219 Münzen kriegen. Oh, hier 82. 246 Münzen. 175. 119. 38. Ja, das ist zum Beispiel nicht so viel wert. Aber ich kann schon gut Geld machen, auf jeden Fall. Aber ich farm das erstmal an. Na, kann ich mit denen irgendwas reden?
Good evening, Milt.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
%30 der Blutqualität. Okay, ich habe bei ihnen alles geklärt und ich kann ihn mesmerieren, was auch immer. Aber wie kann ich einen mit dieser...
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucking awful. We lack everything. And it's getting worse every day.
Ich habe bei ihnen auch alles durch. Ich werde ihn fertig machen. Dann müsste ich dann eigentlich auch seine ganzen Gegenstände klauen können. Das wäre natürlich geil. Aber ich glaube eher weniger. Medizinische Untersuchung. Nein, das will ich noch nicht. rauslassen. Dann habe ich aber...
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Dann habe ich auf jeden Fall keinen mehr zum Handeln. Aber ich muss mal gucken bei YouTube, wie ich einen healen kann. Vampyr, medizinische Untersuchung verwenden. Alter, das Heilen, oh. Ne, hier ist noch ein Hinweis.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
Gegen Erschöpfung. Muss ich ihm das vielleicht verkaufen?
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
Erschöpfung. Er hat das jetzt. Aber wie kann ich den heilen? War jetzt zwar ein bisschen teuer, aber ich glaube, ich weiß jetzt,
Good
wie ich
evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save
heilen
lives.
kann. Erstmal wieder auf meinen Stream.
Do you need any medical help, Milton?
I'm afraid I do. Like everyone in this hospital. It's a sad state of affairs when even the hospital workers are worried about disease.
Our job brings us into contact with all kinds of
So,
infections, Milton.
mit R2 kann man es ja sehen und R1 zum Verabreichen.
That's easy for you to say, Doctor. I get the feeling you don't fall sick often. But thanks anyway.
Ich könnte ihn aussaugen, aber ich habe hier noch einen Hinweis, also werde ich es erstmal sein lassen. Weil ich habe gelesen, wenn man die sofort aussaugen tut und die sowas noch haben, zum Beispiel einen Hinweis oder sonst irgendwas, macht es das Spiel wesentlich schwerer. Ich werde mich jetzt erstmal nach oben gehen und weiter aufwerten.
The flower's dying. It needs water.
Ganz schön teuer. So habe ich erstmal ein bisschen was, falls ich jemanden heilen muss und unterwegs aussaugen will. So, nee, das war die Waffe hier, ne? Ja. Ich würde mal sagen, Schockpunkte können wir so bleiben lassen. Dann werde ich erstmal die Ausdauer senken. Okay. Weil ich will die guten Waffen, die ich zurzeit benutze, erstmal auf Blau haben. Kann ich die... Ach nee, die geht ja nur einmal. Genau. Okay, dann werten wir uns erstmal auf. Zwei. Ich will erstmal alles soweit auf 2 haben. Die hier oben brauche ich doch nicht, die sind ganz schön teuer. Uff, 1,3. Ja, das machen wir erstmal. Lassen wir das erstmal so. Razzien in Whitechapel. Sind auf jeden Fall ganz schön viele krank. Ich werde die nur heilen, wenn ich sie brauche. Blutarmut, Sisse. Kopfschmerzen, Erschöpfung. Das wird noch ganz schön teuer, das Spiel. Ja, die Airbrush. Denk mal, das ist die alte Schachtel, die da unten ist. Nee, doch nicht.
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Ah, nee.
Any news about my operation?
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
I will not let you down, my boy.
Ich muss hinter diesem Zelt.
How can I be sure I'll not find your unconscious body in the house again?
I promise you, you'll not find my unconscious body.
For God's sake, how can you say such a thing?
How can you refuse to listen? I tried to warn you for so long.
No, I won't let my only son die. You promised me you'll stay alive.
Your son lied to you, like the whole world lies to us.
I would ask you to avert your eyes, sir. Or did you not know it was rude to stare?
I knew it.
Speak up, Dr. Reed. I like a man who speaks his mind.
Hiding your true appetites behind a facade of compassion. Bravo. Very clever indeed.
Spare me your sarcasm, Jonathan. You are but newly born in this world.
No need to apologize, my lady. I know exactly what you endure.
The situation is somewhat awkward nonetheless. I have not been observed sustaining myself for many decades. I have to say I'm a trifle embarrassed.
Anyway, I have concluded my inquiries concerning your blackmailer.
I see. Please excuse my agitated state. Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't let anyone see me in this condition.
I must confess I have not put an end to the blackmail, my lady. Unfortunately, I could not bring myself to do it.
I'm so disappointed in you, Jonathan. I didn't expect this from you.
Lady Ashbury, you yourself admitted how ridiculous the sum of money was. I can assure you it was all used for charitable ends.
Well, you are full of surprises, aren't you, Jonathan? All right, say I trust you, but you will still pay the ransom. That is only fair. After all, it was you who failed to bring this problem to a satisfactory conclusion.
I believe I could agree to that.
And since a lady always keeps her promises, I will now answer any questions you may have.
Why does Dr. Swansea allow you to feed on the patients of the hospital?
Dr. Swansea is a good and compassionate man. He is trying to find a solution for our hunger. Until that happens, he is clever enough to understand that I only feed upon the dying.
What do you know about this Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole?
The Brotherhood is well known amongst London Vampire Society. As long as our kind is discreet, and as long as they do not interfere, we have come to a mutual understanding.
And no one suspected you of the murders?
As you well know, suspicion has recently fallen on me of killing for pleasure. But you have my word, Jonathan. I take no pleasure in taking a life.
Why did you save me in the canning factory?
I could hardly stand by and watch such a promising young blood as yourself be torn to shreds by some gutter scowl.
William Bishop wasn't the vampire that created me then?
No, Jonathan. Whatever their strength and demeanor, Scowls are the progeny of careless vampires. It cannot be the other way round.
What type of vampire is a Scowl?
Not a true vampire. The deformed offspring of lesser vampires. It is a shame these creatures run wild, slaves to their baser instincts.
I know this is beyond the pale, but may I inquire your age?
Really? And I thought you were gentlemen. If you must know, I'm 27. I've been 27 for a long time now, and 27 I shall remain.
Very well, but I believe there is more to this than you are saying.
A lady has to have some secrets.
And who bestowed upon you this eternal youth?
My maker. He left this isle a long time ago.
I've been away from London and England for 3 years. This isn't the city I remember.
Things have gone from bad to worse here, Jonathan. I've lived in this city for a long time, and I've never seen it like this.
The Spanish flu has hit London that bad?
Yes, but it's not just that. I've heard things. Things I've not heard for a very, very long time. There are whispers in the shadows. Something far worse than the Spanish flu is here in the city.
What is it you fear?
Fear has long since flown this form. But there is something malevolent circling us. I feel fear is merely waiting in the wings.
Are there many vampires here in London?
Immortals are of a rare breed, and we often tend to hide. But you may occasionally meet some of us at night.
Do you know any of them? Have you an idea of the identity of the vampire who attacked me?
You mean your maker? No, Jonathan, I have no clue. But I fear he or she is as careless as cruel. To let you discover your new condition by yourself.
What do you mean?
Every now and then, you may discover an immortal in the deep of the night. But we are a rare and reclusive breed. Our progeny is almost never accidental.
Will they all be as affable as you, my lady?
I do not see why not. But remember, even the shark smiles before he bites.
That sounds like a lesson from experience.
Vampire politics are as intricate and sometimes tedious as a game of chess in a gentleman's club. I've learned from experience it is best to decline to play.
When I awoke, changed, I was chased and attacked by vampire hunters. Prepared and well-trained.
Though I can't be certain. More than likely, it was the once glorious Guard of TREUE.
Once glorious, but still dangerous.
They have seen better days, but all fanatics are dangerous. You would be wise to stay clear. They are sworn to destroy our kind.
You make them sound like some sort of cult.
More a society. And like all the best ones, a secret society. I thought them almost gone, but it seemed they have been recruiting.
I've been hearing a voice talking in my head. Is this some kind of insanity? It feels like the voice of the vampire that created me.
Hush. Tell no one this. It would be unwise to talk of such things amongst British immortals. Speak no more of your maker.
How could this cause offense?
Only the powerful immortals can mentally call to their progeny. No vampire or hunter will sleep easy, knowing that an unidentified elder is stalking the streets of London.
Excuse my forwardness, but... are you my maker?
Me? Goodness, no. Only a foolish immortal would create a progeny without taking precaution, and I'm no fool.
A vampire? Is that what I am? What we are?
Such a crude word, defined by penny dreadfuls and drunken hacks. No. You are now an Ekon, and that you shall remain.
Are you an Ekon too?
Yes, I am. We are the closest thing to what man refers to as vampires. Forget what you think you know about us.
So we are Ekons. How can I identify us amongst other vampires?
How to put it? All Ekon are vampires. But all vampires are not Ekon. We are but a branch of the immortal tree.
I don't understand. Why was I created and then left for dead?
That is a question only the one who made you can answer. It's not normal practice. I doubt even if you find him, he will answer you, considering how cruelly he treated you.
So me being a vampire could have been a mistake.
I very much doubt it, Jonathan. Contrary to the legends, it is not as simple to make another vampire by just biting someone.
I'd like to avoid creating another vampire by mistake anyway. Tell me, how is it done?
The process is dangerous. It could even kill your potential progeny. If you did decide to sire an offspring, they must drink of your blood, Jonathan.
I bid you farewell, for now, my lady.
I must quickly analyze the blood I took from Nurse Crane's patient. Razvan Vasily was infected by Spanish flu, but also has the highly unstable blood of the Scowls. Is the London vampire epidemic transmitted through the flu? I should talk to Dr. Swansea about it.
Jetzt habe ich meine 1000.
Evening, Edgar. Could I get your professional opinion?
Please speak, but I have something important to tell you.
This strain of flu, it's very different from the one I saw in Europe. It's downright peculiar.
Really? What makes you say that?
I've just looked at the blood of one of our recently deceased.
I see. Do you have anything more to go on?
This disease spreads and looks like the Spanish flu, but its effects differ greatly. The London strain is different from the continental one.
This is very interesting. Did you find something else?
Yes. Unlike the flu, the infected begin to show an increase in outwardly aggressive behavior. More than simple agitation. Once docile people become violent.
You mean like rabies? Is there a chance we could create a vaccine, Jonathan, like Pasteur? By the stove, that would be smashing.
There's a lot we're not seeing here. But it is spreading, and quickly. If we don't act, the whole city could be lost.
But Jonathan, we've a fantastic opportunity sitting right here in front of us. A weapon of choice.
What on earth do you mean?
Why, you, my dear boy. With your expertise and your blood, we could isolate the properties that course through your veins. Think about the possibilities.
I admit it did occur to me. Blood seems to be the common factor in all of this.
I totally agree. We're in uncharted territory here. Maybe it's just wishful thinking, but imagine the possibilities.
We'll discuss this more later. Thank you for your time.
No, thank you, Jonathan. But as I said, I needed to talk to you. I have some rather bad news.
Yes?
I'm afraid it's your sister.
My sister?
She's to be buried this evening at Whitechapel Cemetery. Your mother published the obituary this morning.
I see.
I'm sorry, Jonathan. Please accept my condolences.
I need to talk to you, Edgar.
Please do so.
Do you know anything about the vampire hunters in the East End?
Without a doubt, it's the Guard of TREUE. Zealots to the last man.
Where do they come from?
Once they shared the Brotherhood's ideology on non-intervention, but they concluded vampires were a scourge.
They're definitely well organized and equipped.
They're extremely dangerous and not to be trifled with. To them, you're a feral beast, and I, your accomplice.
So you manage a hospital financed by a vampire?
Yes. Pembroke was founded by Lady Ashbury. She's also our largest donor.
A convenient yet expensive way to have a fresh supply of blood on hand, day and night, don't you think?
All vampires drink blood by nature. Me, I praise the lady's exemplary moral fiber.
If I may inquire, how did you meet her?
Well, Jonathan, she sought me out and offered me the position. It's been a very profitable partnership for both parties.
Also so langsam habe ich mehr und mehr das Gefühl, dass er vielleicht mein Schöpfer sein könnte. Vielleicht. Es ist auf jeden Fall in der untersten Schublade mit drin. Mal gucken.
Nurse Crane will not be returning to Pembroke Hospital.
Oh, really? Did something happen? She seems such a very capable woman.
Perhaps too capable. Nurse Crane also ran an illicit dispensary in Whitechapel. I had to ask for her resignation.
I see. Well, we'll just have to manage without her assistance.
We'll talk later. I never thought I would have to attend my murdered sister's funeral. Mary, I can't forgive myself. I'll find the truth about what happened to us. I swear.
Na, hat sich erstmal mein Spiel aufgehangen. Ha! Wir sind gleich wieder da.